You ever look at two companies and wonder why one just effortlessly keeps growing and grabbing market share, while the other, with the exact same budget and honestly similar talent, just totally stalls out? Well, the answer almost always boils down to one absolutely critical discipline: how they manage their portfolio of projects and investments. Welcome to This Explainer. Today, we're diving deep into strategic portfolio management. We're going to break down what it is, why it's such a game changer, and exactly how it works. By the end of this, you'll have a crystal clear picture of one of the most powerful tools in business strategy and how modern platforms are making it easier than ever to actually pull off. Okay, let's jump right into our roadmap for today. We're going to start with the portfolio problem itself, hit the three core pillars, and then look at the true cost of getting this wrong. After that, we'll walk through a 5-step execution process, and finally wrap up with the frameworks and tools you need. Section 1. The portfolio problem, and why this is about so much more than just managing individual projects. So in business, a portfolio is basically just a collection of projects or investments that an organization manages together. But here's where most companies hit a wall. Everyday project management focuses purely on execution, right? Getting that one specific project done on time and on budget. Strategic portfolio management, or SPM, zooms way out. It doesn't just ask, hey, are we doing this project right? It asks the million-dollar question: are we working on the right projects to begin with? Think about it like you're a world-class chef. You've got a limited kitchen, a limited supply of amazing ingredients, and only so many hours before dinner service. Traditional project management? That's making sure you cook a single dish perfectly. But look, you can't cook every single dish on the menu all at once. You have to decide which meals are going to bring in the most customers, which ones actually fit the vibe of your restaurant. SPM is designing that menu. It's the high-level decision-making that actually dictates where your extremely limited time and ingredients are going to go. Moving on to Section 2, the 3 core pillars. These are the non-negotiables that hold up any successful portfolio. The whole concept of SPM rests on 3 main pillars. First up, alignment. Every single project in your portfolio has to ladder back up to a top-level goal. If your leadership team's strategy is to expand into new markets, the projects you fund need to actively push that forward, not distract from it. It's about getting the whole company rowing in the same direction. Next is prioritization. Look, not all projects are created equal. Prioritization is about ruthlessly ranking initiatives based on ROI and strategic fit, making sure your best people are on the most impactful work. And finally, balance. Just like your personal retirement account, a business portfolio needs diversity. You can't just have high-risk moonshots, and you can't just play it safe. You need a mix of short-term wins and long-term bets to really protect the company. Section 3. The true cost of mismanagement. Let's look at the financial nightmare that happens when those pillars crumble. You might want to brace yourself for this one. Studies consistently show that organizations waste up to 12 cents of every single dollar spent on projects. Why? Simply because of poor selection and misalignment. When your strategy doesn't match your execution, 12% of your budget literally evaporates into thin air. To put that 12% into perspective, let's scale it up. If you're a billion-dollar company, saying yes to too many misaligned projects means $120 million down the drain. No joke. When companies ignore SPM, they end up spreading their absolute best talent way too thin, leaving a trail of scattered, half-finished projects that don't even move the needle. SPM is literally the financial antidote to that kind of chaos. Section 4, the 5-step SPM process. Let's take all this theory and turn it into an actionable playbook. So here is the 5-step operational journey the pros use. Step 1, define strategic objectives. Starts at the very top. Leadership sets the goals, and those become the filter for every decision. Step 2, inventory your projects. You've got to list out everything because you can't manage what you can't see, right? Step 3 is evaluate and score. Use a heat map or scoring matrix to grade everything on cost, risk, and time. Then, step 4, select and prioritize. Based on those scores, leadership draws a hard line: what moves forward, what pauses, and what gets scrapped. And step 5, monitor and rebalance. Actually, let's take a quick detour on step 4 for a second, because we need a total paradigm shift here. Canceling a project is not a failure. It is a healthy, absolutely necessary business move. So many teams fall into the sunk cost fallacy, you know? They keep throwing good money after bad just because they've already started. Having the guts to actively cancel misaligned projects to stop the bleeding is a massive sign of a mature, highly functional organization. And then there's step 5, rebalancing. Honestly, this is the secret sauce almost everyone skips. You can't just carve your strategy in stone in January and forget about it. The market moves way too fast for that. Competitors pivot, AI changes the landscape, priorities shift. A smart organization treats its project mix like a living thing, doing quarterly checks at a minimum to ensure what they're building still matches where they want to go. Which brings us to Section 5, Frameworks and Tools. Let's look at how big companies actually pull this off at scale. There are some classic frameworks out there to help categorize investments. On one side, we have the legendary BCG Matrix. It drops your business units into 4 buckets: stars, cash cows, question marks, and dogs. It's a quick way for leaders to say, okay, we invest here, we hold here, we divest there. On the other side is the McKinsey portfolio model. This one weighs industry attractiveness against your business unit's strength. It's super popular with massive, diversified companies trying to figure out where to place their heaviest bets. But look, while having the discipline and the right framework is crucial, trying to execute all this across an entire enterprise on a spreadsheet is a nightmare. You need modern software. That's where project portfolio management platforms come in. Tools like ServiceNow SPM are absolute game changers for this. ServiceNow pulls all that messy, complex data into one visual, real-time source of truth. You can instantly see your alignment, track performance on the fly, and make fast decisions without digging through 100 emails. It literally bridges the gap between top-floor strategy and ground-floor execution. All right, let's wrap this up. Summary and key takeaways. If you take nothing else away from today, please remember these 3 things. First, alignment is everything. Every single thing your team works on needs to tie back to a strategic goal. If it doesn't, why are you doing it? Second, prioritization is a total superpower. Saying no to the wrong projects is exactly what buys you the bandwidth to say yes to the right ones. And third, SPM isn't something you do once at an annual retreat. It is a living, breathing cycle of setting, executing, and relentlessly rebalancing. I really hope this explainer gave you a sharper lens on how the heavy hitters manage their investments. If you got something out of this, hit that subscribe button so you don't miss our next deep dive into business strategy. But before you go, I want to leave you with a quick thought exercise. Drop your answer in the comments. If you audited your company's portfolio today, like right now, how many projects do you think are actually misaligned with your core strategy? Let me know. And hey, tell me what topic you'd like us to break down next. Thanks for learning with us, and I'll catch you next time.